Here's Anthony in Texas, all the way in the United States. Anthony, a special welcome to you and a big up to all our listeners in the United States. Go ahead, Anthony.
I actually just had a comment about a caller earlier who had mentioned Ronald Reagan. And
that was our caller from Cork in Ireland, yes.
Yes, sir. He talked about the defense spending.
Yes.
And he failed to mention that the reason Reagan increased defense spending so much was to destroy Russia and communism, yes, and end the greatest threat to the entire world.
Well, we thought Ronald Reagan was a pretty decent threat to the world, too.
Well, I don't understand how that is. He didn't cause a war. He ended communism, which, as you know, I'm sure as you know, Stalin killed millions of his own people in the Gulag.
Well, communism died a long time ago, but we've had quite a lot of U.S. wars since then. How do you explain that?
Which great U.S. wars?
Well, there's one raging in Iraq at the moment, in case you missed it.
No, but there's 5,000 U.S. soldiers dead. That doesn't seem like a great war in comparison to the great wars in the history of the world.
Well, not unless you're a wife of one of the 5,000 dead, or perhaps a family member of the 25,000 seriously wounded, or, dare I mention it, Anthony, in Texas, if you're one of the family members of the 1.1 million Iraqis that have been slaughtered in that war and occupation.
How many Iraqis were slaughtered by Saddam Hussein?
Well, not that many, Anthony, but we're actually talking about the ones you're slaughtering now. No, Anthony, we're talking about the ones that you're slaughtering now. Saddam's dead. Communism's dead. But George Bush is still slaughtering Iraqis. And he's going around the world trying to bully countries into sending their soldiers to kill or be killed in another war in Afghanistan. And he's thinking about launching another war against Iran. What do you say?
Well, I think if Iran wants nuclear weapons, then yeah, America needs to stop.
Okay, so it was communism first of all, and now it's Iran. Where next, Anthony? If we step out of line, do you think...
North Korea next.
North Korea next, Anthony. Do you fancy that one?
Kim Jong-il.
Do you want to fight them, Anthony? Do you want to fight the North Koreans, Anthony?
If you live in South Vietnam, I bet you want America too, because you don't want him. You don't want that madman Kim Jong-il.
I think you meant South Korea. I think you meant South Korea.
I'm sorry, not Vietnam, South Korea.
No, Vietnam was the other country that you decimated. Vietnam was the other country where you killed millions of people. Where you dropped... You want to talk about chemical weapons? What about the chemical weapons you dropped on the people of Vietnam, whose children are still being born with 3 legs today as a result of it? You decimated Vietnam. You've decimated Iraq. You're threatening to decimate Iran. Is there no end to your bloodlust, Anthony?
Do you really think that America is that imperialistic?
Well, we've just rolled off quite a few countries you've decimated. That sounds pretty imperialistic to me.
Can I make a point?
Yes, I hope you will. You haven't made one yet.
In the history of the world. How much has our territory increased since America?
Well, we're not talking about your territory increasing, Anthony. We're talking about your hegemony. You invaded Iraq because you wanted to rule Iraq by proxy. You invaded Vietnam and killed millions of its people and destroyed the country in 20 years of saturation bombing, including chemical bombardment. You may have forgotten, Anthony, but we have not forgotten that little girl, her skin dripping off her as she ran from a napalm attack dropped by your big, brave Air Force. Neither have we forgotten your armed forces in Abu Ghraib jail in Iraq, piling the Iraqi prisoners on top of each other, forcing them to commit indecent acts against each other, so your soldiers could videotape it for their entertainment in the barracks afterwards. Anthony, your country's role in the world stinks. It makes people sick. Don't you understand that?
I understand that America keeps the world as safe as they can where nobody else...
How come we all hate your country's role in the world, Anthony?
What's that?
How come we all hate your country's role in the world? Are we just stupid? Are we too stupid to see?
No, because everybody is jealous of America's power.
Oh, we're real jealous, Anthony. We're so glad you're listening out there in Texas. We all wish we lived in Texas, where the people are 32 stone and where there's no sidewalk because nobody walks anymore. Go and stuff your mouth with a